Hate to start the video out like that, but big Jets W last night, and that's all I have to say. They finally got a big W under their belts. They beat the Texans last night on Halloween, but that's not what this video is about. I would love to talk about the New York Jets having a huge W last night. Today we're going to be doing way too early NFL predictions. I thought this would be a fun little video to make, see what you guys think, and see if you guys agree with me. And yeah. First, we're going to start with the Offensive Player of the Year. So there's lots of players that could win this award, but I think there's one person that's running away with it. And I think that person is Derrick Henry. I think the Ravens have shown that when they give Derrick Henry the football, that they can be a dominant, scary football team. And he's shown that even at 30 years old, he's still got it. He leads the league in rushing by almost 200 yards, at least last time I checked he did. And that's kind of insane. I think he's what's putting the Ravens all together this year. And I think he's the best pick. I don't think there's a lot of other guys that are making as big of an impact as him. He could even possibly be in the running for MVP if he keeps up the type of numbers he has been. He hasn't had the greatest week. I mean, he's still got, I think, 90 yards the last 2 weeks, maybe a little bit less. But if he keeps getting them 100, 150, 200-yard games, then I think easily he wins Offensive Player of the Year and possibly our first non-quarterback MVP. But I also have a pretty strong belief that the MVP is a quarterback award. A lot of people seem to not agree with that. Maybe I'll make a video deep diving into that because I feel like I have some pretty good points to that. But yeah. Next up, I'll hit you with the Defensive Player of the Year. I think it was going to be Aiden Hutchinson until he got hurt. So that kind of sucks. I wish Aiden Hutchinson was still playing. I wish he was still, out there dominating. I think there's a few guys that could be considered for the award. Dexter Lawrence is having a great year with the New York Giants. 9 sacks as an interior defensive lineman. That's stuff you don't really see unless your name is Aaron Donald. So that's a pretty big deal in my opinion. And then Will McDonald from the Jets, he's got 8 sacks. He's doing pretty well. But I don't think he's being dominant enough to win Defensive Player of the Year. So I'm going to take Xavier McKinney, who has 6 interceptions this year. And I think that's pretty crazy. It has only been like 8-9 weeks. So that's a lot of interceptions, almost an interception a game. So I think if he keeps that up, keeps getting more picks, I think he'll win Defensive Player of the Year. Usually it's an edge rusher or someone, that's getting to the quarterback. So I think it'd be exciting seeing a secondary player win it for the first time since Stephon Gilmore in 2021 when he was on the Patriots. Sorry, that's kind of a weird, awkward little cut at the end of that. But, yeah, Xavier McKinney, Defensive Player of the Year. It's going to happen. So, But anyway, now let's get to the Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think there's a lot of good options. I think you can almost say any of the rookie quarterbacks that are starting this year, they are all doing pretty well. Outside of, Drake May, he just hasn't played enough yet. If he goes off for the rest of the year, he could, maybe, because he's played some pretty good games. He's thrown a lot more picks than the other guys as well, I believe. But Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, there's some good rookie wide receivers out there right now, but Malik Neighbors, and what's the dude from the Bills? Keon Coleman. He's really came on the last few weeks, so I think there's a lot of good options. But I do think where this award shouldn't really be, centered towards one guy, which it's not really. But I think I'm gonna have to go with the quarterback and Jaden Daniels this year. He took the Commanders, who a lot of people thought were going to be an absolute slop show this year, and has made them look like an NFC contender and possibly winning their division. So I think Jaden Daniels is a great option for the Rookie of the Year. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy back there play fighting and shit. But yeah, I think Jaden Daniels will win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So for the Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think there's a lot of good options for this pick as well, but I think there's one guy who's pulling way far ahead of everyone else, and that's Jared Verse from the LA Rams. He has one of the highest QB hurry percentages in the league, or pressure percentages in the league, just behind Myles Garrett and Aiden Hutchinson, which, sadly he's not playing anymore. But Jared Verse. He has like a 27% pressure percentage. He's doing great this year. There's some other good options. There's Byron Murphy, but he got hurt for a few weeks. There's Lulu Taiu or whatever his name is. I'm sorry, man. I can't remember what his name is. But there's some other good options. But I think Jared Verse is really pulling ahead, especially with the huge game he had against the Minnesota Vikings on whatever night of football that was. But yeah, Jared Verse, I think he's really pulling ahead for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. There's been one giant hit this whole video on who I think is going to win Comeback Player of the Year. Obviously, I think Kirk Cousins has been playing better so far. Well, I mean, I don't think obviously he's been playing way better than Aaron Rodgers, but he's been winning more football games. So I think a lot of people will be leaning in that direction probably as of right now. But I think with the run the Jets are about to go on, A-Rod is going to pull through, win Comeback Player of the Year, win the Super Bowl MVP, and retire in a beautiful fashion. But yeah, that's what's going to happen for Comeback Player of the Year. A-Rod's going to win it. He's going to have a great last however many weeks of the season, and he's going to pull ahead of Kirk Cousins to get Comeback Player of the Year. I don't even know if there's really a whole lot of other guys that are in the – maybe I'm just an idiot with the Comeback Player of the Year, but I think Kirk Cousins, as of right now, has been the leader by quite a bit. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to pull through by the end. But maybe that's just my Aaron Rodgers glaze coming through. But we'll see. We'll see. The MVP, the most valuable player in the National Football League. I got another hint. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, the most valuable player, I think there's quite a few guys you could look at and say, hey, that guy's the MVP, and that's why this guy shouldn't be the MVP. Truth is, with the MVP, we're really not far enough in the season to really have any idea at all, really, with any of these records. That's why it's, way too early. But I do think it's going to be crazy. I think Jared Goff is in the lead for MVP so far this year. The way the Lions have played this year, even after Aiden Hutchinson went down, which I know that doesn't really have anything to do with how Jared Goff plays, but the Lions have just been dominant this year, and I don't think there's a lot you can take away from that except Jared Goff playing dang near perfect football, and you can't beat Goff when he's playing that good football. Shout out to That's Good Sports for giving me that little punchline right there. But, yeah, no, I mean, Jared Goff has been on a tear this year, especially the last 3 weeks. I mean, I know he didn't, have insane numbers or anything last week, but he had 3 touchdowns with 20 yards in the first half. That's what? That's crazy. But I think he's playing efficient, good NFL football, and I think Jared Goff at the end of the year, if he keeps this up, I think he's the obvious choice for MVP. So yeah, that might be a little controversial. There might be other guys that you guys might want to drop in the comments below. Tell me who you guys think should win MVP. Tell me who you guys should think should win all of these awards. Do you think Najee Harris should win Offensive Player of the Year? I don't know why him, but that's just the first guy I thought of for some reason. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I hope you leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't, dislike the video, block my channel so you never see it again. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day after Halloween.